Welcome back, everyone. Your loyal Captain Gear 100 has returned yet again for another video for you guys today. Today we're doing something a little bit new. This is another remake that I'm doing that I wanted to do for a while, but just never had the motivation. But until today, the motivation suddenly hit me like a truck, and I'm back to do it again. I'm not going to name this video a remake series. I'm just going to call it Part 1 because you guys won't find Part 1 anywhere on the channel. Or at least I hope not. But then again, this is another anime that I think is heavily underrated. And crazy enough, it's one of the very few animes out there that got its own adaptation from the manga. So the anime has its own ending and the manga has its own ending. So you know what? I'm like, screw it. I'm gonna do my ending. So what is this? This anime is called Akame Got Kill. I really like this anime, and it's a very underrated one. I watched it when I was younger, and I found myself coming back to it as I'm older. So with that being said, I decided to give my own try at what I think should happen. Now, what am I going to be changing? Well, for the part of this whole series is going to be called "What if Tatsumi fought for the Empire instead of the Revolutionary?" Ah, see, now that's where I got you hooked. Now, this is going to be a very interesting story. I'm not really going to do an intro or an outro. We're just going to get straight into the story. So let's go right now. So how would our story begin? And why would Tatsumi fight for the Empire? Well, that's simple, but hold on. Let's do a little bit of a backstory real quick to build this up. This would start all the way back in Tatsumi's village. Also, I'm going to be changing Tatsumi's Imperial Arms and Trump Card, all that stuff, because I had to rewatch the anime to get back into their power systems and everything. But I didn't really like it. So I'm going to give Tatsumi his own personal thing, which is why he's going to be fighting for the Empire. And I'm going to be changing a lot of stuff around. But anyway, this is my own adaptation of the story. You guys can do your own version if you want. But I just find my version a lot cooler. So we find ourselves all the way back inside of Tatsumi's village. We don't really know if Tatsumi never mentioned he had a family or anything. So I'm just going to think he was an only child and maybe his parents died or some crap. Or maybe he was an orphan. I don't really know, guys. But if you guys can find if he had a family or not, then you guys tell me in the comment section down below, please. That way I can mention them. Give them an honorable mention, or I can say something. But anyway, still. So we would that whole backstory. Why would Tatsumi start fighting for the Empire? This would start all the way back in his village when he was a kid. And well, this is how things would go. Basically, some bandits or whatever were attacking their village, and they were being robbed constantly. Basically, they were being taxed in their entire village, and nobody could stand up to them. Until people from the Empire, like guards or police, whatever the you guys want to call them, they came up and they stopped the bandits and basically saved their whole village from being raided ever again. This is kind of what sparked Tatsumi's idea to join the Empire, because it wasn't really a bad thing. He sees what revolutionaries would do. Like, they go against the Empire, they go against all this stuff to like people who are just trying to live their lives. But that would be a little bit. But what would really spark that whole idea would be this one thing I'm going to bring up. All right, just give me a second. Sorry, I'm kind of thinking on the fly, so it's kind of hard for me to get into... got it. Okay. So this is how it would happen again. As Tatsumi got older, he would actually be taken into the Empire by, I don't know, his caretaker, whatever the you guys want to say. And while they were there, what would simply happen is that, okay, since people in Night Raid are somewhat older and all that, I'm not going to say as of right now because Tatsumi's still a kid. They'll be 5, maybe 6 years older than him. So they would just be in their early teens, maybe late teens. But still, okay. This will be the early development of Night Raid, actually. The boss is still freaking... the boss is still in control of Night Raid and everything. That really doesn't change too much. But still, I'll say this right here. It would actually be the early development of Night Raid. They don't have, the main cast that we know. This is just some pretty much canon fodderized people and whatnot. So they were attacking the Empire like normal and, gaining information for the Revolutionary. Until, this is when the Empire guards would actually come down and take care of them. And Tatsumi would see, they would hear reasoning behind this. Night Raid would give off a whole speech on everything about people deserving freedom, and the Empire is just the Empire are just a bunch of control freaks trying to keep everything within the order. But the Empire retorts back saying order is exactly how everything is supposed to be. Without order, everything would just devolve into chaos, and that's what they want. They want nothing but chaos and destruction of the entire place. If there wasn't any order, how would people get paid? How would people live their lives? How would people be protected if the empire wasn't here? They just sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Kind of need to clear my throat for a minute. Pause on that one. So, if Night Raid would have destroyed the entire empire, how would all of that come to fruition? Everything would just be in the down spiral chaos. Bandits would just go everywhere unchecked. People's lives would be threatened all the time, and then it would be all Night Raid's fault. But since the empire would be destroyed, there would be no one to protect those people. Who are they to say the empire doesn't need to be here? And this is what would spark Tatsumi's whole mindset about actually joining the empire, about the empire maybe not being as bad as he originally thought. Well, as bad as the people originally spun it. Sure, the empire itself was flawed. Many ways it was flawed, because you got people who are corrupted, joining the empire, who just do a lot of shady shit and everything. But a little of what they were saying actually does make sense. You need order. You can't just destroy everything, otherwise it would devolve into chaos. And Tatsumi himself, hold on. Jesus Christ, I need a bottle of water or something. And Tatsumi himself has seen what would happen to people without the empire. Where would his village be if there wasn't an empire to protect them from those bandits that day? They would just keep getting taxed, and their women would just keep getting taken and taken advantage of. All that crap. I'm not going to say exactly, but for those that know what that means, you know what that means. So this is what would spark Tatsumi's, ideal to join not the revolutionary, to join the empire exactly. But that would be a long time before he was even close to joining. But this would just be his thing. This is why he would join the empire, because yes, while the empire is flawed in many goddamn ways, he's not even gonna lie about that. The empire is flawed in a lot of ways. Even while growing up as a kid, he could see that. But there is still some right to what they're doing, even though it's all corrupted and it's all fucked. But there is still some right to it. If Night Raid tears all that down, what is that gonna leave the people with? What is that gonna leave anybody else with? People who won't know how to make their decisions, how are they going to make a living? They'll turn to stealing, robbing, and killing off of each other just to survive. And Night Raid, their hands will be washed with that. They'll pretty much wash their hands with that stuff, because their main goal is to just take down the empire. And Tatsumi can't let that happen. So, okay, what's different about Tatsumi that I'm making? Well, that's simple. I'm a diehard fan for this, so don't you guys dare come for me in the comment section. But I'm changing this about Tatsumi. Boom. Basically, if you guys don't know who this is based off the game Dragon Ball Legends, the main character that you are playing as, Shallot. I'm gonna call him Shallot, because pretty much I don't freaking know how to do anything. Basically, Tatsumi is a Saiyan in this one. His name is still Tatsumi. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good. Tatsumi is just pretty much based off of a Saiyan. So he has the Saiyan tail and everything, and, the potential to be super goddamn strong. So that's what it was. But, you never truly know Shallot's potential. But since he can copy pretty much anything, pretty much Tatsumi has Shallot's potential in this one. So whenever I bring up Shallot, just know I'm talking about Tatsumi in the same order. So that's how it's going to be. So that's how it always was. So as a kid, Tatsumi started training to join the empire when he was old enough. So you never truly knew what was going on in that kid's head. Tatsumi's village always supported their ideas and everything else. So when Tatsumi said he was going to join the empire, his village supported him wholeheartedly. Because it's pretty clear and dry that Tatsumi's village did not know what Tatsumi was doing at all. They didn't even know he joined Night Raid or died at all, because at the end of the anime series, you can clearly hear the village elder, leader, whatever the heck that dude is. You can hear him say they will be welcomed back as heroes when they return, meaning they never knew Tatsumi had ever died at all. So basically, this village was free from all ideals and everything else. Well, not free. You could still have your own ideals, but it was free of judgment. So when Tatsumi told everybody he was going to join the empire, they fully supported his ideals 100% of the way. So that's what clearly happens, and years pass. Because of this little stage development and whatnot, I'm going to say Tatsumi has up to Super Saiyan 3 right now. Because it's been so many years. He's a Saiyan as a kid, and he would have already started his training. So getting Super Saiyan all the way up to 3 is not that bad. But keep in mind, there's a lot more left that I'm just letting on. And there's one major thing that I'm going to change as well, which I will be stating later in the video. But anyway, let's continue on to the story. Okay, y'all. So here we are. Finally, Tatsumi's old enough. He's like 18, 19. I don't know the age gap. I didn't look up that much. I'm going to just take a guess and say he's fucking 19. All right, we're going to do that, and we're going to move on now. Great. So, finally, Tatsumi's 19, and with those 3 friends, they leave their village to basically go pursue their dreams on to be whatever they want to be. And these 2 are pretty much insignificant, so pretty much they're about to part ways as they enter. But they do talk a lot as they're moving on and everything. So here we go. This is a little bit of an idealistic, and they're just going to talk. So the 2 friends ask Tatsumi what is he going to do exactly, because they're both just going to join the Empire, find some measly job, settle down, have a family. Tatsumi tells them straight up he's going to join the Empire and take down this revolutionary once and for all. Like, oh, you're planning on taking on Night Raid? That's a dangerous game you're playing, dude. You could very well die. Yes, but I won't. Like, are you sure? Did you forget who you're talking to, man? Come on now, I'll be fine. As they just say okay and they wish him good luck, as pretty much their journey is pretty short. It's not that bad. And here we go. They finally enter the Empire walls, like gates and shit. So as that happened, they all go their separate ways. One goes down the other path, one goes down the other, and Tatsumi goes straight down the middle. Now, I know what you guys might be saying here, and you're going to be right, but I have to make a significant change to this. So what am I going to do? So here, let me explain what would happen in the original timeline and where I'm going to differ from it. It's going to be simple. In the original timeline, Tatsumi was looking for a job until like Leone managed to find him and screw him over in a bar, which led to Tatsumi trying to find her again. And eventually, when he does, Leone led him back to Night Raid base, pretty much not giving him a chance to even reject the offer and whatnot. But in this one, okay, I'm just gonna say this is gonna be quite difficult for me, man, because the Empire tryouts isn't here yet. But you know what? Who freaking cares? I'm gonna do a little bit of my own things right here. So it's pretty simple what I'm gonna do. Because Tatsumi has very little money and because Saiyan appetite and he wants something to eat, he pretty much goes around doing little strength tests and whatnot for money. Pretty much showcasing how strong he is off the bat, and little mini tournaments as well. Gaining him a little bit of a reputation. Finally having enough money, he goes into a bar. Whatever the fuck else is. I don't really know, man. Just a diner. He goes into a diner. This is where he would usually meet Leone in this time. And while that would happen in the original, this is where it happens. While it would happen in the original, I'm gonna say this: Leone suddenly had gotten a call right back to Night Raid. I don't know how, but just a secret. But I got it. Bulat, the guy who had the Imperial arms in Curcio, since he can go invisible, I'm gonna say he was with Leone on like a mission in case she ever got found out she was a part of Night Raid. That way he could help her. So because of this, he's able to sneak in and outside the Empire. So Bulat came into the story and called Leone and said it's time to go back to base. Leone did look at Tatsumi. Well, yeah, interested in him actually, because one, he's like an animal kind of character like her, a little bit. But also she did want to recruit him, but since it's an emergency, they got no time and they end up getting out of the diner and they end up leaving Tatsumi a free dude to do pretty much whatever he want, which would have been fine. He would have I'm trying to think. He wouldn't have followed her anyway, but still. Leone just didn't bother Tatsumi at all. She just got picked up before she ever got the chance to interact with him, which was good. We got to keep it that way for the sake of the story. So, what's going to keep happening? Well, what continues is pretty simple. Tatsumi goes around trying to find a job of simple strength testing, but he's having a lot of goddamn trouble, because every Saiyan's cocky freaking nature does get in the way of him doing something pretty good. Because Tatsumi knows his worth, and it's always just terrible. So what does he do? Easy. He just does like manual labor, which is super easy for him, which he makes the like tiniest bit of cash on the fly. Ugh. He does get him a room and everything in like a mini hotel, but this isn't something he wants to be doing for the rest of his life. He wants the chance to join the Empire, and the tournament to do that is exactly coming up. Oh, it's going to be a while. So Tatsumi just continues his manual training for a little while because I'm saving one thing for this, guys. So you know what? I'm gonna say tryouts is happening freaking early because I don't want there to be like weeks or months into this training already, and we would be so very behind. So I'm just gonna start this like right away. So instead of it being a long time away, it's actually going to be 2 to 3 days away. So Tatsumi starts that training and whatnot all at the same time. We're all good. So here we go. Tournament time. Time for Tatsumi to join. Let's do this. Tournament day. Okay. For the sake of this story, I can't. I'm trying to think. Okay, for the sake of the story, dang, I forgot his name. I forgot his name already. Since it was 2 to 3 days, nobody freaking died here yet. So the people who would have joined Night Raid later are still going to join later in the story. But right now they're not here yet. So instead, it is still Leone, but at this point it's Shell and Leone. And what are they here to do? They're here to recruit people for Night Raid. They need strong members. And well, this tournament here, since they heard it was happening to join the Empire, maybe the losers would be salty enough to actually join the Revolutionary. Like, who knows, man? But they need strong people, and this is their only way of doing it. Well, that would be quite crazy, quite the crazy thing to do. Except Tatsumi finally made his way here, and he signed up. Night Raid has been a little bit like MIA for a little while. They're not really trying to start trouble, like to let the world know this is the year that they're being taken down yet. But so they're being quiet right now. They've been doing like little mini missions, taking down bases on the side, little tiny bases, but they were keeping it cut and dry that it was, they were making sure to leave nobody behind to tell that it was Night Raid that did it. Maybe it was just a bunch of raiders like that did it around everywhere, but who knows and who cares. So yeah, Leone, Shell, they're both watching this tournament here. Tatsumi signs up, and pretty much he mollywops everybody who comes against him. Quite easily, in fact, in base form. And he doesn't break a sweat at all doing it. Huh. And while this is going on, he still smiles like normal, but it's not that literal peaceful smile. It's still a smile, but it's also a Saiyan smile, with like how a ferocious warrior would smile after like a grueling battle, knowing he won. Tatsumi gives off that kind of smile, and that kind of smile is what gets Esdeath going. No pause on that. I know what I said. So immediately upon seeing that Tatsumi won, and with ease throughout this entire tournament, as Esdeath stands up directly like in the original and say he's the one. He's our Imperial Arms candidate? No, well, not that, but something else. He's much, much more. Commander? As Esdeath herself walks down the stairs like in the original, and she meets Tatsumi face to face. Tatsumi, right? That's a wonderful name. Thank you. And crazy enough, Tatsumi wouldn't have any epiphany towards Esdeath at all. He knows of Esdeath. He knows of her, but he doesn't know Esdeath at period. But still, Esdeath congratulates him on winning the tournament, and she could tell he was holding back. But still, that strength is quite amazing. But anyway, now it's time for your reward. Thank you very much, ma'am. No matter how you look at it, money is still money, and I have no problem taking it. Until you know what would happen. Oh boy, here we go. Click. What the? From starting today, you'll be mine and mine alone. Tatsumi is like, excuse me? But crazy thing is, as Esdeath tries to walk off with him, Tatsumi doesn't move at all. Like, be a good boy, okay? As on instinct, he freaking grabs the collar that she placed around his neck and just grips it with his hand. Pause on that one. And freaking breaks it. Oh. You're not... like, you're not supposed to do that. As he tells Esdeath, I am nobody's pet. As immediately Esdeath would see the fire in his eyes again. That burning spirit. That's what gets her going. Bro, I gotta stop saying that. I have got to stop saying that. But anyway, it gets her excited. Like, oh really? If you think you're strong, if you think you're so strong, then why don't you prove it? As honestly, Tatsumi just smiles. He honestly just, oh my god. He honestly just smirks and just says, "All right then." As honestly, he just gets into a fighting stance and says, "Bring it on." Oh boy, here we go. Pretty much Esdes smiles at this. This guy has no problem facing her. Like, it may be out of ignorance for not knowing who she exactly is, but still, she's not gonna turn down a fight as she pulls out her sword. Oh boy. Let me guys tell you now, this is about to be a laughing stock here. So as the two rush at each other, Tatsumi is like giving off like a knowing grin, knowing what's gonna happen. Because he can sense Esde's power. Right now, even though she's suppressed and not really trying here, Tatsumi knows he's far, far above her. But anyway, let the fight begin. I can't really show too much right now, but I'll give you guys some really good details. As the fight would commence between the two, blow for blow, like as Death is throwing her sword at Tatsumi, and Tatsumi's literally blocking it with his bare fist, I mind you. It's like the Akaza and Rengoku fight. Except Tatsumi is Akaza and Esdet is Rengoku. But it's pretty clear that Tatsumi is holding back. A lot more. Because there's so many times where he catches Esdes and he's about to punch her in the face, but he stops his fist just before he hits her and gives her a smirk. Gives her a smirk knowing that he could have easily hit her, but he just didn't. Until it would come to the fact that Tatsumi would fake for it being a stalemate. And Esdes would smile a lot more, like openly, saying, you really are super strong. I'm proud of that. And Tatsumi just tells her this isn't even the peak of his strength. He's only been using his base power. He has a lot left to go before he's even at his fullest. Really? Then show me. As Tatsumi would give off a smirk as, oh man, his tail would uncuff around his waist as it would smack the ground, causing like a mini earthquake. As then Tatsumi would start to power up. As he's not gonna go all out, but he's gonna do a lot of showing off here. Like a thunderstorm starts happening around everywhere, and everyone can feel the radiating power off this guy. Holy shit, how strong is he? And with one guttural scream / roar, Tatsumi transforms. It doesn't look like much, but you can still feel the power emanating off this thing. As Tatsumi's transformed into a Super Saiyan. As everyone can feel the power emanating off of this, and Esdes can tell, even if she does go all out, she will have no chance in hell facing this guy. As Tatsumi just gives off a smirk, and Esdes just says, I apologize. I had no idea you were this strong. So, what do you want? So you're the winner of this tournament. So please follow me. Like, huh? You joined this tournament in wishing to fight for the Empire, did you not? Well then, you're going to be right by my side as my personal guard. Oh, I thought I'd be. As Tatsumi just powers down out of confusion. As Tatsumi just thought he would be starting from like the lowest point of the low, and then he would have to work his way up. But Esdes does come up and straight up hug him, dude, in front of everybody. Because she is so in love with this guy because he's that strong. She just can't help herself. Like, oh, don't be silly. Oh, don't be silly, Tatsumi. You'll be right by my side from the start, and we're going to tear down this revolutionary army. Okay, cool. I was already with that, but I'm just confused. Don't worry. Don't worry, darling. As she sticks out her hand toward him, and that's not metaphorical. She literally sticks out her hand at him. Like, come with me. As she literally grabs his hand, not even waiting for him to, grab it back. We'll speak further in my room. Just the two of us. As she literally guides Tatsumi away. Everyone is standing there wondering, what the fuck just happened? This guy comes out of nowhere, and he's strong enough to contend against the general. Like, the commander. What? And Leone and Shell, not the green-haired guy, are just are left standing there like, oh shit. Um, I think we're in trouble. Yeah, a lot. We should probably report this back to the boss. But what about you know what we came here to do? Like, sure, we can still do that, but is anybody even going to be close to this guy? Don't Probably not. Yeah, let's bail for now. As the tournament comes to a close, and well, you guys should already know what happens. Oh man. Okay, so I'm trying to think of some stuff here. All right. So anyway, I ain't got no problem showing this. This is in the show anyway, so I can't get demonetized for this. I'm not even monetized at all yet, so it don't matter. Nah, sorry guys, don't want to risk it. Don't want to risk showing anything too crazy, like off rip. But anyway, Tatsumi and Esda are in Esda's room right now because it's like later at night. Tatsumi's like isn't like against the idea of being here. Like he joined the Empire, which is what he wanted to do, but shit, he didn't think it would go like this. He's in a state of what the fuck, and well, he's in the biggest state of what the fuck in his life. How did this happen so quickly? And well, you don't really know. He doesn't really know how this had happened or how this happened or even went down. He was just doing measly jobs for the next 2 to 3 days, making the tiniest bit of money. Got a hotel, and then he wanted to join. He thought he would have to work his way up the ranks, but it seems like personal guard of the general. Huh. Well, okay. Not really the worst start in life. I mean, he definitely started out better than a lot of other people. Just shit. Wish he would have gotten a warning before this had happened. But that's fine. As Tatsumi hears a noise next to him, and it's Esda sitting on the bed next to him. I'm not really going to show anything like that because it's not that type of video. As Esda pretty much is being nice to Tatsumi like normal. Oh wait. Yeah, being nice to Tatsumi like normal, as anything else would go down. So it's not that bad. So Tatsumi would question like, why did Esda choose him out of everyone in the tournament? It couldn't be because he was strong. I mean, well, even though she could tell he was holding back, like what guarantee was there that he was going to be what she had hoped? And well, it's pretty cut and dry. Esda could tell that there is something different about Tatsumi, that he's not that he's misplaced, kind of misplaced. Don't get it wrong, she's happy, incredibly happy that he's here, but there is something wrong about him. Like he's supposed to have some type of ulterior motive, but he doesn't. And so she directly asked Tatsumi, what does he want? Tatsumi just says he's always wanted to fight for the Empire ever since he was a kid. And Esda asked Tatsumi what's his reasoning for wanting to join so badly. And Tatsumi does say why. Esda does realize this guy he may be strong, but he also has a kind sense of justice as well. A kind heart, which is good to join the Empire. But he also something else about him that but she can also pick up that he does enjoy fighting and strong opponents, which is why he also joined in the first place. But he wants to take down this night raid just as much as any of them, which is fine. But Estes is even more in love with him because he's stronger than her, which is great. Because no one is stronger than her. Absolutely no one. And Estes directly asked Tatsumi, what is the peak of his strength? How strong truly is he? Tatsumi says he truly doesn't know because he can feel more. There is a lot, because what he showed at the tournament is basically only the first stage of what he can do. He can go up to 3, but even still, that's only the peak of his strength right now. He knows he has a lot more. He has a big untapped well of potential that he hasn't reached yet. And Edeth proclaims that she's going to help him reach it, but not before she grabs Tatsumi by the face. Tatsumi doesn't know exactly what she's doing here. He's confused until, oh boy, she kisses him. Pretty cut and dry. It happened in the anime, happened in the story, so I don't have a reason to remove this. She kisses him. And wow. Esdeath, of course, trying to be her dominating self, but that ain't flying with Tatsumi, because he knows he's stronger than Esdeath, so he grabs her and pins her arms up against the bedboard. Okay, it's not that type of video. Not the type of video. I promise you guys, it's not. And Tatsumi just tells Esdeath that even though she may be the general and he may be her personal bodyguard, he's not going to be, well, ordered around like some rag doll. because he knows by Esdeath's ideology, and from only being with her for a few hours, he knows very well that her ideals are the strongest rule. And Esdeath knows cut and dry, Tatsumi is way stronger than her. So here's how the deal is going to go. He'll gladly be her personal guard, and hell, he'll even be her lover. He'll even be her lover. He has no problem with that. But the one thing is, he's going to be the one calling the shots. Esdeath is not going to be directing him around. Sure, around everyone else, he'll play ball because she's the general and everyone else. But if she starts getting too out of control, Tatsumi will be the one to put her in her place. Esdeath being a freaking masochist and a freaking sadist. Oh boy. She actually absolutely loved this, blushing heavily, her whole face turning red, because this is what she's wanted. She wanted someone strong to dominate her. Oh god, I really gotta stop. This is really sounding so bad, but you know what? I don't really care, because we all know this is Esdeath's personality. She wanted someone strong enough to come by to dominate her, and that's never happened. There's never been anyone on her level. And since Tatsumi is accepting her advances, there really is no problem here. And yes, I'm a firm believer of the Tatsumi X Esdeath ship. I really do believe this could have been a thing if Tatsumi did join the Empire. But since he was freaking stronger, since Tatsumi is stronger than Esdeath is going to be the one living by Tatsumi. And so, like, just in the original, Esdeath proclaims that she shall be faithful, she won't even look at another man, like, they'll be together forever. Tatsumi says he has no problem with any of that. Like, he knows Esdeath won't betray him in any way. But, like, honestly, doing this is fine. He was just doing small, petty jobs in the Empire anyway until he was going to join regardless. So this here is just giving... So being a personal guard to Esdeath he doesn't mind any of that in the slightest. And being her lover, honestly, is just a bonus. He openly tells her that. He has no problem with that. And so Esdeath, but Tatsumi does have one thing. He wants to get to know Esdeath before anything, intimate happens. He's not just going to do this right off the bat, even though this would be any person's dream. He wants to get to truly know Esdeath. Like, if this relationship is going to work, he wants to know things about her, which Esdeath has no problem with, because he's being cooperative here. He's not denying her or anything else, so this is going to be fine. So they get to know each other about, like, very little things, about their hobbies, anything else, and it's pretty cut and dry that Esdeath loves torture and whatnot. And this is just, attracting Tatsumi to her, because, Sans love strong women. So this is obviously a thing that I got to make work here. But, little tomorrow missions that Esdeath says tomorrow she's going to announce Tatsumi as a lover to everybody, which he has no problem with. And pretty much she does do that, introducing Tatsumi to the Imperial Army. Pretty much, since he's Esdeath's personal guard, he's joined her main group. So pretty much, oh boy, it's gonna be nuts. Oh wait, hold on. I should probably switch to a different image. Hold on, let me do that real quick, y'all. All right, we're here. So like in the original, instead of Tatsumi being tied up in a chair or anything, since he's really cooperating right here, he's just right next to Esdeath. He's like right by her side. And also he's taller than her. I'm gonna say he's like fucking 6'6", just because. Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? Tatsumi is like taller than Esdeath, and since he's standing right next to her, since he's cooperating and he's willing to do all of this stuff for Esdeath, there is no need to tie him up. Not only is he going to be joining our ranks, but Tatsumi is also going to be my lover. So if anyone's in a relationship, please raise your hand. And the flamethrower guy really does. And like he asks Esdeath for Esdeath asked him for advice on how this relationship is going to work, because well, she just got Tatsumi yesterday, and he just joined our ranks, and they're getting to know each other, but it still feels like there's a struggle. And the flamethrower guy is giving all of the relationship advice he can, and he's surprised, and they all say, even all of them besides Esdeath, they say they're pretty surprised. They say they were surprised, and Tatsumi just questions what are they surprised about. They say they were shocked that Tatsumi is super okay with all of this. Joining the Empire, being Esdeath's personal guard, and her boyfriend? Dude, all of that is just crazy. Tatsumi just says, honestly, two of those things he was willing with already. One, he already wanted to join the Empire and fight for them. He just didn't think it would be like this. He thought he would start from the lowest ranks and work his way up to a group like this. But being like this off the bat, although it did surprise him, he has no problem with it. So, and being Esdeath's like boyfriend is just the icing on the cake. He has nothing against Esdeath, and it's not like he's against the relationship. If anything, he's attracted right back to Esdeath. So it's fine all in all. So everything works out for everybody. As okay, and Tatsumi just gets to know the rest of the group that he's going to be working with. So their first mission is going to be taking down like a mini revolutionary base and whatnot, which is going to happen in the next part since I have to catch back up on the rest of the story and everything. So anyway, I hope you guys really did enjoy this. This was really fun for me to make, and I was really happy to do this for y'all. So tell me what you guys think of this remake right here, and if I did good enough, because I made this part a lot longer than it needed to be. But that's all up to you guys. Y'all decide what if it's good or not. So with that being said, y'all know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Peace!